Amid the aggressive rebuild led by Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz, a backroom decision is starting to be seen as a potential mistake that could cost the Chargers dearly. And the most shocking thing is that this move happened just before the most important game of last season, the playoff duel against the Texans. While all eyes were on the team's preparation, an almost silent change went unnoticed by many. But now, the collateral damage is knocking on the door. Joe Ortiz, the Chargers general manager since the beginning of 2024, has been widely praised for transforming a limited team into a true playoff team, even on a tight budget. In 2025, he managed to add depth to the roster without needing to make big-name signings. But among so many successes, one mistake is starting to stand out strongly: the departure of Jordan McFadden. McFadden, a recent draft pick, was released by the Chargers on the eve of the matchup against the Houston Texans, in a decision that still raises questions to this day. The intention was to make room on the practice squad, and although speculation at the time was that Ezekiel Elliott would be promoted, the name that rose was running back Jarrett Patterson, who didn't carry the ball even once in the game that ended Los Angeles' elimination. McFadden, although not considered a savior for the offensive line, was a versatile and promising OL, capable of playing anywhere on the interior of the line. A valuable piece, especially considering that the current starters are Zion Johnson and Bradley Bozeman, while the main backup is Branson Taylor, a late-round rookie. Now, with the Chicago Bears, McFadden is receiving consistent praise and could even become a key piece at some point. And here's the sore point: if the Chargers' offensive line struggles, or if McFadden shines for the Bears, the decision to let go of a player with a contract controlled by a very short-term and ineffective gain could be harshly criticized, especially when swing tackle Trey Pipkins is the fifth highest-paid player on the roster, and Harbaugh's philosophy has always been about protecting the line. McFadden may never become a big name, but if he makes a difference in Chicago while the Chargers struggle with limited depth, this decision will haunt Joe Ortiz. And if you thought that was a strange decision, what about a potential big return that could change everything at wide receiver? Imagine this scenario. One of the greatest stars in the Chargers' recent history may be closer to a return than many think. Yes, he is still on the free market, and with NFL training camps just around the corner this month, this possibility is starting to gain momentum and generate buzz among fans and analysts. CBS Sports journalist Cody Benjamin added fuel to this flame by suggesting that Allen's return to the Chargers is not out of the question, and may even be a smart move on the part of the franchise. After a solid stint with the Chicago Bears in 2024, where Allen recorded 70 receptions for 744 yards and 7 touchdowns, the veteran wide receiver did not renew with the team. Chicago seems to be taking another direction in its offensive restructuring, leaving the number 13, who made his mark in Los Angeles, in search of a new destination. And if there is one place where Allen could still make an immediate impact, it is precisely with the Chargers. It wouldn't be the first time the Bolts have reconnected with an old acquaintance. Mike Williams did just that this offseason, leaving and returning shortly after. With Jim Harbaugh making it clear that his priority is to maximize Justin Herbert's arsenal, the idea of reinstating Allen, even in a secondary role, makes perfect sense. After all, experience is never too much, especially in crucial moments of the season, such as third downs and plays in the red zone. Although the Chargers have invested heavily in youth, with the selection of Trey Harris in the first round and the high expectations for Ladd McConkey as their primary route runner, Allen could be the perfect balance between experience and refined technique. More than that, he already knows the tactical system, has an excellent rapport with Herbert, and has a strong connection with receivers coach Sanjay Lal, with whom he worked previously. Allen is coming off a 4-year, $80 million contract, but if he's willing to take a pay cut for the sake of a symbolic career ending, a return to Los Angeles could be the perfect match. And on a team that wants more than just to compete, it wants to win, having a name with Allen's experience could be the missing piece to transform a good roster into one that's truly threatening to the NFL giants. And if you thought this possible return would be enough to excite the fans, don't move your seat, because another veteran could be about to land on the Chargers to bolster the offensive line and further protect Justin Herbert. With the roster all but set for the start of training camp, General Manager Joe Ortiz may be about to take another strategic and surefire step towards solidifying the Chargers roster. Even after a busy offseason that included important reinforcements and a total focus on providing Justin Herbert with the tools he needs for a successful year, one area still remains on the radar as a sensitive area that requires maximum attention: the offensive line. And according to Bleacher Report, an experienced name could could emerge as the ideal reinforcement at this crucial moment. Veteran Will Hernandez. A free agent on the market, Hernandez is seen as a bargain with great potential to make an impact. At 29 years old, the guard had been playing for the Arizona Cardinals, and until suffering a knee injury in 2024, was playing the best football of his career. The most interesting thing, for the first time, he was playing in a gap-based scheme, the same style adopted by offensive coordinator Greg Roman with the Chargers. The technical and tactical compatibility between the player and the Los Angeles offensive system makes this possibility even more attractive. Currently, Zion Johnson and Bradley Bozeman are the top names to fill the two center positions on the OL. The player who loses this competition will probably be moved to the left guard role. But this structure, although functional, is not immune to risks. The depth of the line is questionable and the margin for errors or injuries is extremely thin. The arrival of Hernandez, therefore, would offer much more than a simple rotation option. He would bring solidity, experience, and stability to an area that is essential to the success of any team, especially for a team that bets all its chips on its franchise quarterback. And that is exactly why Jim Harbaugh and Ortiz can consider this move as another chess move in their ambitious rebuilding plan. Harbaugh has already shown that he is not afraid to reinforce critical areas even late. Proof of this are the recent offseason signings of names like Elijah Molden, Tier Tart, and Taylor Heineke, all added after the main free agency and draft periods. If Hernandez joins the fold, it will be yet another clear sign that the Chargers are leaving nothing to chance. On paper, Hernandez's signing may not seem like a game-changing move in the NFL, but in practice, he could be just the thing to shield Herbert and keep the offensive line's problems from negatively defining the season. In a league where the trenches decide championships, any extra inch of protection could be the difference between a mediocre campaign and a run to the Super Bowl.